The market just ripped. And when I went in to check my ETF portfolio, every single position, this video is either going to make you feel a lot better or it's going to completely make you rethink your strategy. When the market swings 8, 10, even 15% in a matter of weeks, people do really one of two things. Number one, they panic looking at the portfolio when they sell, or they ignore it. Neither one is a strategy in its entirety. And I'm doing the third. I want to pull up all the data on the portfolio, show you exactly what has happened with my real ETF portfolio that we covered, walk you through what I'm keeping, if I'm changing anything, and what the rally actually looks like for long-term investors. So if you're like a lot of people sitting on the sidelines waiting for the right time to buy, this video is going to be a gut check to what we've been seeing. So let's hop over and take a look at it. All right, guys, so here we are looking at the portfolio again. As you can see, this is our debt-free journey. Now, this account is a taxable brokerage account through M1 Finance. I have some links down below, and I want to show you exactly why I use M1 Finance. I also do have Robinhood. I have some links down below, but I love the methodology and how they actually do portfolios in M1 Finance. That's the reason why I do everything over here. Now, the debt-free journey, this account currently has $442,000. So we're almost to that $500,000 milestone in this account alone. This doesn't include anything that I have in IRAs, doesn't include anything that I have in 401k plans. This is just the taxable brokerage account. Now, the reason for this is I want to have this account that is going to bridge between early retirement and getting into full retirement, being able to access the IRA and the 401k money at 59 and a half, or getting till 62 or 65 to get Social Security at that point. So looking at this portfolio right now, like I said, we're at 442,000. And you notice M1 Finance breaks these into pies. So these are broken into individual pies, which means when I set a portfolio, they are going to be percentage based. For instance, I put 30% in the VOO. Every time that I'm adding money in here, whether it is overweight or underweight, as we can see right here, it is going to make a big difference. And I am going to almost rebalance the portfolio through contributions. Now in this portfolio, as we're going through, I did increase my, the SMH, the Van X Semiconductor Fund. I did increase a percentage in there, really thinking and really knowing that semiconductors are the future for probably at least the next 5-10 years, the infrastructure, everything else. But again, as I'm making contributions in here, since I increased the portfolio or increased that percentage in that one single pie or that one single slice, it is putting all of the money into that pie. And again, kind of rebalancing automatically, because I want to show you exactly what it looks like. So as you can see right here, we are up 151% in this portfolio, which is kind of crazy because we're looking at, I believe, less than 5 years at this point. And I have some ETFs in here that I built that I wanted to outperform the VOO. And again, this is by design. This is the logic. This is the reason why I built it as it sits. So looking down here at the performance, current value, again, that 442, you can see market gain. We are almost at $100,000. Now, when you start investing, it's going to be very, very slow to compound. It is almost like a snowball. When you start with a very small snowball that you can hold in your hand, it is going to be easy to carry. It's going to be very light. As you're doing contributions, as this continues to compound, as you're getting dividends in this portfolio, it starts going faster and faster to the point no one can stop the snowball because it's just going to be running away. Now, also notice in your dividends, we've earned $6,300. Like I said earlier, this is a taxable brokerage account. I do not want dividends, even though I do have the SCHD in here for just a little bit of stability. Overall in this portfolio, taxable brokerage, I want growth, and growth is what I'm looking for. Again, this is by design. This is the way that I'm building this out. Money weighted return, 151%. We'll look at the benchmarks in just a minute. And I love that you can tag this versus different portfolios and kind of take a look, because looking up here, one day we're down $3,000. Now, for a lot of people in a portfolio, that would kind of scare them, that would worry them. But remember, when you start looking at a portfolio, we are looking at a minimum, probably 1 year or more when we start looking at the market, when we start looking in its entirety. Because even though, you know, $3,000, a lot of people might say that is a pretty big loss. We go to a week, we are up $12,000. Now, of course, with this portfolio, we do dollar cost averaging, lump sum investing. I did a video on it, the pros and cons of both of them. We do not have the ability to lump sum into this portfolio because I get paid every 2 weeks and I put money in here essentially every single week. So overall in the week, we're up 12,000. When we kind of back out to the month, so in the last 30 days in the month, we are up 15%, which in my opinion, guys, is just absolutely insane. But like I said, guys, I want to break down this portfolio. When we go out 3 months, we're up 11%. Year to date, which is 5 months, 13.52. And then in the last year, we're up 34% in this portfolio. So overall, double digit growth. I mean, anything north of really 15%, you're outpacing that S&P 500 when we look at like a VOO, but overall a 34% increase, like I said, that we're looking. So as we break this down, and I want to show you down here what we're looking at over this exact time frame. So the VOO, and let me put this back, let's say the last 3 months. This is where, again, my ETF portfolio, the 7 slices that I have are the 7 different ones in here. I want to show you what we're looking at and how and why this is kind of producing. So the first one we have right here, which is the VOO. This is the Vanguard S&P 500. That, in my opinion, is the benchmark. That is the baseline. That is what is going to carry your portfolio. That is going to be the core holding going up and down. It's also going to give you exposure to a lot of different sectors. The VOO, as we see in the last 3 months, is up 6%. So if you have a bulk of your funds in an S&P 500 fund, you're up about 6% in the last 3 months, which is still a little bit below average, but overall still doing pretty well. Then we look at our growth section. So the growth part, so foundation again, this VOO. Then we look at the growth part, which is going to be this QQQM, up 14.13. Now this is well above the average, which is around 10% for the S&P 500. This is the reason why we coined it as growth, wanted to make a little bit more progression in there. Now, we have the SPMO. Now, this one works a little bit different. This rebalances twice a year or alters its adjustments twice a year, but this one, some people hold as a core. So what it does is it looks at the top 100 companies in the S&P 500 that they feel have the most momentum to move forward, and that is exactly what it buys. Like I said, every 6 months, this changes the allocations they hold in there, making a really big difference again in those last 3 months, doing incredibly well at 18.52. Now, of course, SPMO could be held of one of two. One, it could be a foundational ETF. Two, it could be a value ETF. But when you start looking at it overall, it is kind of a growth ETF because you are focusing on the companies with the biggest opportunity to grow, which is exactly what the SPMO does. Then we have the SCHD. This is held in 10%. This is kind of a little bit of a stability. Then I look at my aggressive part. So you'll notice in this portfolio, we have the Van X Semiconductor Fund. We have the QTUM, which is quantum computing, GDE, which is gold. And you notice between all three of these, the Van X Semiconductor Fund is up 35% in the last 3 months. Quantum computing is up 22% in the last 3 months. GDE is just about flat, which I'm okay with. That gives me some tech exposure as well as some exposure to gold. But overall, like I said, with all three of these, which is roughly 20% of my portfolio, we are looking for aggressive growth. So right here, again, kind of breaking it down, foundational with the VOO, we have growth with the QQQM and the SPMO, which is roughly 40% of the portfolio. Then we do have all three of these down here, another 20% of the portfolio. That is our aggressive growth. So really looking at and focusing on those specific sectors, which have the ability, and really, in my opinion, guys, next 5 to 10 years, these are 3 ETFs that are probably really going to take off. And then, of course, we have 10% in the SCHD. We don't want to create a lot of dividends in here. A lot of dividends are going to be taxation when it comes to the build, but overall, it gives us a little bit of value. And this portfolio will change as we get closer to retirement. As the need for income comes a little bit higher, I want to grow the portfolio to the largest size that I can before we need income. So I want to run through this and I want to kind of break it out because we want to go back to a year. So thinking the last 12 months, we are at, again, 34.5%. But you'll notice it very, very different in here. But again, functionality-wise and really the logic behind this, VOO's at a 29%. Again, foundation, that is going to be the baseline for where the market is performing. QQQM's at 40%, doing pretty well. We want that as the growth portion. SPMO, 39.91%. Again, big part of that growth portion. Interesting enough, SCHD up 33%. This is due to the heavy holdings that they had within energy itself. And overall, a 33% growth, still outpacing, which is crazy, with a value ETF outperforming or outpacing that VOO in the last 12 months. Then we have the Van X Semiconductor, 78% aggressive growth. Quantum, which is, of course, the quantum computing, the QTUM, 40%, which again, outpacing the VOO, but staying rate and pace with the growth with the QQQM. And then, of course, the GDE is up 19%, still doing pretty well, underperforming the VOO as we see it. Again, has exposure to tech, but also that exposure to gold in this ETF in its entirety. Then we go out even further, and this is going to be skewed. And I always tell you when it's 151%, you'll notice right here, the VOO is up 127%. Now, these numbers are skewed. And the reason I share this with you is because when it came to the VOO, I held the VOO for about the first 3 years that I had this portfolio, and the VOO only. Then we expanded out, took a little bit of the holding of that VOO, moved it into the QQQM, moved some into the SCHD, held that for a while, and then we actually got to the point, portfolio got to the size. We added in the SPMO, the SMH, the QTM, and the GDE to really build this out a little bit further. So overall, guys, portfolio doing incredibly well. And even then, I believe it was September 24th of 2021. So you figure we're in 2026 right now. So September 24th of this year, 2026, will be 5 years we've had this portfolio. So in the last less than 5 years, we have 151% gain. And of course, now it's going to start that compounding. Now it's going to start that snowballing effect that we're seeing because the portfolio has grown to the size that we really need it to. Even looking at net cash flow, guys, we have put in $346,000 over and into this portfolio. That's because I live the debt-free journey. We have the sign right behind me, the complete debt-free journey. Only thing that we have, and really the only payment that we possess for me and my wife, is the mortgage itself, which I don't want to pay it off right now. That's a time for a whole nother video because it's at 2.25%, where even when we look at the market almost being flat, dividends, everything else that we're getting out of here, we are definitely outperforming that 2.25%. Now, again, I know there's a lot of pros and cons to paying off a house, anything of that nature. But overall, guys, wanted to share and give you an update since the market has been on an absolute tear. I mean, I look at even a couple months ago to where we were really at and seeing the low point right here of 360. I mean, that is almost a, what, $80,000 swing in a portfolio from March 30th of 2026 all the way into May. It's been a really, really big ride. And if we start looking back even further to where we had a really big dip right here in March, and then of course we had one a little bit earlier when it came to the portfolio, when there was some uncertainty in really the last year. And again, you can see kind of the upward progression. This is the reason why I really talk about being fully invested in the market. We know there's going to be down years. We know there's going to be years like COVID, like the dot-com bubble, the housing market crash, where the market is going to pull back. But for me, guys, I stay fully invested in the market the entire time. So, all right, guys, so if you found any value out of this video, definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Give the video a like. It's going to get it out to a lot of other people. And let me know in the comments exactly what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.